to attain success both in this world and the hereafter. And now, may I present to you one of the founder of Brainy International Montessori School, Coach Fazil Hashim.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Beloved candidates, Mr. Visa, Mr. Charisma, management of very much of the DBS, our beloved parents, our hardworking, and all our beloved teachers, aunties and uncles, our children, our alumni. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I know you are tired because it's sleeping from morning. So before I start, can we get everyone to stand up first? So stretch a little bit. Okay, stand up, get stretched. Your stretching. I'm going to do the closing, inshallah, session. And I hope that you can gain something. Alright, okay, sit down. Thank you. Okay, we'll give a big round of applause to every one of you. Come on. One big round of applause to every one of you. Alhamdulillah, it is praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah has chosen us to continue our life today. There's numbers of people in this world who have just left the world. Probably after 6 a.m., they could not wake up anymore. So that's why it is very, very important for us to understand why Allah still chose us to be in this world. What's the intention? Just now we mentioned, and the charisma shared with you, one of the pillars or principle in Brainy is to cultivate intention. Our beloved Prophet said in one of the hadith, "Innamal a'malu binniyat." And our ulama say that this hadith is one of the most important hadith. In fact, our deen, our religion, Islam, 1/3 of our religion are actually dependent on this hadith. So you are not here coincidentally. You are not here because you plan to come here. You are here because Allah chose you to be here. I know we're supposed to expect maybe more parents to come, but we running Brainy for the last 13 years. When we first started Brainy, we always have parenting clinic membina fitrah anak. Almost every 3 months, I think, last time. We have that Ustaz Dawn and all those celebrity Ustaz. But most of the time, the one that came for our parenting clinic is not very much parents. It's parents from outside. Because I know parents very much, they are too busy. By the time Saturday, they are too tired. I understand. But really, for those who are here, aunties and uncles and all the audience in the hall, can we give a round of applause to all our parents who still doing it? Inshallah. It's a big thing. But go back to the intention. Why are we here? Why you choose your children? Maybe some of you be listening this online or later this video will be shared. We cut into few audios or videos. So if you listen to this video, if you are very much parents, I want to ask this question: why are you here? Why you choose Brainy? You have other option. I came from Kemas Kindergarten. You can still go to Kemas if you want. There's no degrading about Kemas. But why you choose Brainy? And I think I can speak on behalf of you. Because I'm also a parent. Although now I no longer have children in kindergarten. Of my 5 kids already, the youngest one is in upper elementary. But I share your journey. And I know, I just want to say to you that enjoy. Enjoy as much as you can when your children are still in kindergarten. This is the most beautiful years of their life, the most important. And of course, I started to miss already. Invitation to request for the baby. But, enjoy your time and try as much as you can to equip yourself with a lot more information, a lot more guidance, so that you can maximize their first years, which is the most important period of education. I think being the modern parents of today, we truly wanted to correct our wrong or our past. Right? Because we don't get the chance to go to Brainy Bunch during when we were younger, because there's no Brainy Bunch back then. And even if there is, maybe most of us can afford it to be me. Right? But when we have our own children, we want the best for them. We want them to truly attain true success in this world and hereafter. Aunties and uncles, because I know we have a lot of aunties and uncles here. So remember, listen to this session so that you can also get this reminder and these maybe tips for you to become a better educator, a better aunties and uncle at the school as well. So the intention is the one that guiding us to try to find the best that we think. Is Brainy Bunch the best school? No. Not yet. Do Brainy Bunch have the best teacher? Not yet. Because we could not claim what we cannot prove. I can say that we are the best school, but what's the truth? Yes, we won a lot of awards. Yes, we are probably the largest Islamic Montessori in the world. We're probably the largest legal operator brand kindergarten in Malaysia. Unlike other campus or other brands, they are all franchise-based system and so on. But we don't want to say that we are the best, but what we want to say is we are trying to be the best. We are working towards building the best system. We have listened to Auntie Karisma on the pillars of Brainy Bunch, the principle, how we started Islamic Montessori English, the SPICE program and on. But above all, what you need to understand is what do you actually want? What is your expected goal for your children, for your child? You need to understand that. The long-term goal, which is the hereafter, the medium-term goal, which is this world, and the short-term goal, which is why we are in Brainy Bunch. Alright? So what you do is you set that goal. Okay, we start with the long-term goal. Long-term goal is we want every of our children to be able to enter Jannah without hisab. Yes or yes? Yes or yes?
Yes.
How many of you want your children, including you, to enter Jannah without hisab? Raise your hand. I know some aunties you don't have children yet, but including you. Do you want to enter Jannah without hisab? Raise your hand. Only one hand? Two hands. Right? Because this is cultivating intention. Don't assume when you are Muslim you want that. Because some of us don't know whether I really want it or not. Because nobody asks us this question. Right? And remember, we don't just say that we want to enter Jannah. We say we want to enter Jannah without hisab. Meaning you want to skip through the punishment of the grave. You want to skip the punishment or whatever suffering of the mahsyar. You want to skip the sirat. And one hadith of the Prophet, it was mentioned that there be time, during the time before the Mizan, Allah started to get everybody to be measured by the Mizan. But there's one group of people running, wanted to enter heaven. And the angel, the malaikat, at the time, stopped them and said, hey, we have not started yet. You cannot enter. The doors is not open yet. But at that time, Allah said, allow them to enter. Who are these people? We want our children and hopefully us to be included in this group of people who are able to enter even before the Mizan has started. And who is these people? This is the people during their time when they are alive in this world, they make themselves available to call people to worship Allah, to call others to do da'wah to Allah. They embarrass themselves by calling others, let's obey Allah. Because that's the only way for you to be successful. My beloved brothers and sisters, the challenge in the Muslim world today, we no longer do that. We outsource the da'wah to da'i. We outsource the da'wah to ustaz. We don't train our children to continuously to remind every one of us to call others to Allah. Allah said in the verse of Quran, "Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar." You know about this ayah. You learn about this. Surah Al-Imran, verse 110. In that ayah, Allah said that you are the best of the ummah with a condition. That we must do that work, which is what? Calling others to do good deeds, but not just any deeds. Like for instance, okay parents, after this let's go and play football. Is it okay? Is it ma'ruf? Is it a good deed to play football? Yes. Let's go eat. It's also good deeds. But don't tell me that by going to eat or calling you to eat is considered as the best of the ummah. Doesn't make sense, right? Ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar. Forbid others. So what types of munkar that Allah mentioned in that verse? To make us to become the best of the ummah. If not, to call people to worship Allah, to stop others from deviating from Allah. Because the greatest sin is when we worship other than Allah. In today's world, a lot of us thought that our possession, our money, our power, our whatever that you have possessed, have a power. This is living an association to Allah. Whereas the true fact is, there's no other power other than Allah. Sometimes we say Allah Maha Kuasa. But the truth is, Allah is the only one with the power. Whatever power was given to the creation, like us, is only by the will of Allah. It's only when Allah wanted to give to us, by the grace of Allah. Like for instance, if I ask you, who created Steve Jobs? Of course, you say Allah, right? But who created Apple? Then you say, Steve Jobs. But can Steve Jobs create Apple? This is not saying. But can he create Apple without the power of Allah? No way. So that's why when we choose Montessori system, because some say that why don't we use Ibn Sina method? Why don't we use this ulama method and so on? Why do we choose Montessori method? Then I ask the question, who created Maria Montessori? Who created Dr. Maria Montessori? Of course Allah. Who is the God to Maria Montessori? She's a Christian. Who is the God to Maria Montessori? Allah. Who is the God to Tony Fernandez? This is a question of faith. Basic Aqidah 101. Who is the God to Tony Fernandez? He's not Muslim. Allah. Because there's only one God. They may not accept it or they don't understand it because we fail to do the da'wah. Our non-Muslim friend don't understand about Allah. Our non-Muslim friend doesn't understand it. So that's what, among other things that we wanted to fix our mistake, because we were not raised to do that. How many of you, don't raise your hand, just answer in your heart. How many of you, by the time you turn balik, most of you are adult here, right? Except your children. By the time you turn balik, until now, never miss compulsory solat. You don't have to raise your hand, just ask your heart. By the time you turn balik, until now, never miss compulsory solat. I can speak on myself. I was part of the statistic who do not perform solat in full. So when I became parent, I was worried that my children will go through what I went through, like deviate and then try to come back. So this is the reason why I always say to parents, if you can, choose the full day program. Because if they go back home too early, the environment at home is not enough to educate them to be able to live as a good Muslim. Unless parents who are like full-time housewife, you have like mothers stay at home, who can govern? Maybe you are full-time housewife, but you cannot govern your children. Is it easy to teach your children? Or else we don't think together, right? I think one of the hardest things for me is to teach my own children. And one of the hardest things for even teachers is to teach their own children. Why? That's why if you study the history of Sultan Al-Fatih, so if it's not because of this teacher, he won't be the greatest Sultan. He won't be the greatest example of the best Sultan or the best leader. So we need our teachers. And in Brainy Bunch, based on my experience, the aunties and the uncles, words are very powerful. So if you want your children to do anything, get your aunties, their aunties to say to them. Right? Sleep early, drink more water, try to do something or do whatever, get your aunties. You do at home, but get your aunties to remind your children. Because they will listen. Aunties say, by the time they are 5 years old, the 4 years old already started already. Aunties say this. Sometimes aunties say wrongly. Right? Can we also make mistake? How do I correct this? You go and tell the aunties. Don't argue with your children. No, your aunties is wrong. They won't accept you. Because aunties' word or the teacher's word is very, very powerful. Right. I want to remind everyone a few things before. Okay. We have given you this planner. Of course, because your children is still into the guidance, so I don't expect your children to be the one writing this down. So go back, discuss with your wife, Get your children to involve if they are big enough, like 6 years old, you can ask them. 5 years old, maybe you can. If 4 years old, you can just show them and explain to them. To set the goal for them. I've given that 3 years old, 12 years old, 5 years old, and 30 years old. Don't put the goal like Nasib Selamat. Magistrate, lawyer, you can kan? You don't have to determine what you're going to become like specifically, but you can determine like the characteristic or the attitude or the accomplishment, a world problem. So look at our welcome pack. So we have given you the welcome pack. Please read cover to cover. Try to understand so that your journey in Brainy you can maximize all your investment to get the best return possible. Why this goal is important? Goal alone is not enough, because to attain or to achieve that goal, you need a system. Because without a system, we cannot achieve the goal. So the system is the framework. Of course, alhamdulillah, in the school, alhamdulillah, we have it. But at home, what is the system? I think often that we make mistake as a parents, we do not become parents. We just become somebody who live together. We don't parent our children. Probably because we are too tired and so on. So you need to equip yourself with basic system. Like for instance, Solat Jama'ah. I mean, I see it, even for me it's difficult. It's not easy. But we are in the parenting conference. I have to remind myself, I have to remind every one of you, please, and please, try as much as you can to pray with your children. It's not easy, but we have to do it. So there must be a system. Read taklid. If you are not familiar, what is taklid? Why you want to have a majlis taklid at your house? So majlis taklid is basically normally you read the seerah of the Prophet, hadith of the Prophet, or some fadilat from the hadith and so on. There's a kitab which is made very easy for everyone just to read only. You just have to read. You cannot read the Arabic, you just read the translation. You can read the English version. You know. So what you have to do is just have that session at least after Maghrib or after Isha, whichever, just less than 5 minutes. Why? Because when you do the majlis taklid, that majlis considered as a knowledge program. Majlis ilmu. So means the angel will be in your house, will be in that majlis, in that program, the short program that you have in your house. By you yourself, you don't have to get ustaz to come. Just read the story of the hadith and whatever the fadilah and story. You can get that. If you don't have that, you go to Malakat Mall after this and grab a copy. I think it's a must thing that you must have. If you don't have that, you should have it. Why? Because it's very, very powerful. I saw a posting. I made a posting yesterday. Then someone posted on put a comment. Of course, this is not very much parents lah. So she commented that my husband did not pray. There was a teach about parenting. My husband still do not pray. And maybe some of us still are not able to be consistent yet. Maybe for those who come here, yes, but maybe those who are listening, maybe you are not. Is it wrong for you not to pray? Because it's wrong, right? But it's not our job to judge you what you do. It's our job to call you or to encourage you or to motivate you on what you should do. Because we are not here to judge. That's why when we see people who make mistakes or committed a sin, don't curse the person. We make dua for them. Right? So, doesn't matter whatever you do, please make sure that we continuously build the system at our home, inside our home. I think that is one of the most challenging things to do initially. But ultimately, once you are able to do that, your children still in kindergarten, inshallah, you are already on the right track. Whatever wrong that you did before, like, when I say this, I remind me myself as well. So not to say that, oh, push the power to the hebat. Thank you. We did like a lot of parenting conference, like international conference, local conference, I think more than hundreds. So we learned a lot as well. So I'm just sharing what I know. Alright, so the goal that you set for your children. So now you go down to the first 3 months, the next 6 months, the next 9 months, the next whole year. What is the goal for your child in Brainy Bunch? You need to ask that and discuss that with your campus manager and your aunties. Last year, we have started the home visit. Although not all parents allow us to come, we actually wanted to get all our teachers to visit all of our parents' house. Because there's a series of questions that they're going to ask you and ask your children, so that they become closer to you and your children. This year, what we wanted to do is to get closer to the parents. Remember, why we call our aunties or uncles? Why? Kenapa tak panggil cikgu je? Sekolah lain cikgu. Why? Dan sebagainya. Why Brainy Bunch use aunties and uncles? Because literally, we are the makcik and pakcik of your children. Literally. They are not here in Brainy Bunch just to belajar, duduk depan belajar. No, they are not. They are there for them, our teachers, to really work with them as someone who are very dear to them. Learning them regardless on how they came to school. You know children, right? One time they very happy and then 5 minutes they can like show tantrum and so on, whatever. Some children cry 6 months. It's okay. My son, Dean, cried 6 months during his first year of kindergarten. Yeah. So that's okay. But our teachers, or the aunties and uncles, they have to be patient. Or else they cannot be kindergarten teachers. That's why aunties and uncles, our teachers, they are very soft people. So if they make mistakes, don't shout at them. Don't scream at them. They make mistakes. They will make mistakes. They are not perfect. They are not the best teachers in the world. At least not yet. But they are on the way towards becoming, inshallah, one of the best teachers in the world. So, please make sure that you communicate with your aunties, your class teacher, and your campus manager. This is the main contact that you should have. If you do not contact them, you can contact, by right, you're supposed to be able to contact them. But if you have difficulties, then you can escalate to our leadership manager, all the way to me if you need to. You can contact me, my numbers is available, just ask the campus manager. You can contact me on social media, I communicate with parents all the time. Although, preferably, contact your teachers first, aunties first. Right? Okay. What is the goal that you want to set that your child should achieve in this world? Hereafter, we have hereafter. Hereafter, enter Jannah will Isa. This one, what is the main goal? Among the main goal, of course, we want them to be successful in this world. And by definition, the ulama say success in this world is the ability to practice completing. And the stats is there's a building block on how you want to measure yourself whether you are able to practice completing. The first is your akidah. Second is your ibadah. Third is your akhlaq. Fourth is your muasyarah. Muasyarah is your how you have your society, your social network, your own. How do you have each other? And after that, your muamalah. You're going to have these challenges. Right? In the muamalah today, we are always have to somehow, even though we try to avoid, to be connected to the system. So we are not able yet now, but we are building. So that's why Brainy Bunch, our goal is not just to provide your children education, but we wanted to build an ecosystem, inshallah, in near future, where your children will not be like us today, that we have to practice or be part of the ribat system. Right? After muamalat, then only siyasat. So that's the building block. So from there, how many have we able to do? Not much yet. But let's have that goal in our heart, that we are going to work towards improving our practice of our deen. So that inshallah before we die, either we achieve or we are on the way to achieve it, may Allah accept that as one of the reasons for Allah to accept our effort and bless us with the best of the hereafter. But for our children, they still have time. We can work together. Do not limit to your children time in 25. So that's why get to know more about us. Why do we do Malacca? Why do we invest a lot on that effort? Because we see the future. You see what China today is based on their leaders 30 years, 40 years, 60 years ago written plan. The Zionists control the world today based on their 100 years blueprint. Where's the Muslim blueprint? This year, 2024, marked the 100 years of the fall of the Ottoman Empire. When and who will resurrect back our Islamic leadership of the world? Who's going to do that? This is the project of Brainy Bunch. This is the reason why we started this school. And this is the mission that we always have in trying to improve over and over and over and expand to the entire world, so that inshallah in the near future we will be able to resurrect back the leadership of the world. Right? So that's why it's important for you to understand the why. So once you understand the what is easy. Right? You just have to put the goal. Very much alumni program. I know that maybe you are not looking for the alumni today, but we have the alumni program. So this year, inshallah, we're going to do a lot more activities. But the goal for us is once they graduate from kindergarten, because not all will be able to continue in our school system. Right? So, but we want to see them as the asset of the ummah. So because of that, we have in our mind, basically you don't have to pay anything for the alumni. So just make sure that your children are in our alumni program. When they graduate at the age of 6, they got our certification, they are entitled to become our alumni. So the alumni that we envision by 2030 is to have 1 million worldwide alumni. So we are extending, we have campus, we just opened campus in Bangladesh, we are opening a few more campus outside Malaysia. But the idea is to connect all these children so that they can work together and help each other. Just like the Ansar and the Muhajirin. Of course, not limited to Brainy Bunch parents only, but for Brainy Bunch, at least we have this peace community. We went through the same system. We went through the system who put Allah and the Prophet as the highest priority in life. Even though they go to other school, we can always pull them back to realign them back with this goal. The goal of trying and striving to achieve true success in this world and hereafter. That dua, the success in both worlds that we chose, is actually extracted from the dua that we always recite every day. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. But a lot of us, when we make a dua, we don't really mean what we say. Like for example, when you do your salat recitation, why do Allah ask us to salat? Do you have to salat or do you want to salat? I want to ask a question. Raise your hand if you think that you have to salat. Raise your hand. Okay. Raise your hand if you think you want to choose the second option is you want to solat? Raise your hand. Alhamdulillah. What's the difference? For our children, they have to solat because this is the minimal, the first step to practice the paksa. Tadi my teacher taught me this. Paksa, biasa, rasa. This is the level of faith, iman. Right? Force, regulate, regularize, or able to do that consistently, then feel. Solat without feeling is like, I give an analogy like, you go to Thai restaurant and order 3 rasa, tapi tak ada rasa. Makan tak ikan? Do you eat that fish or not? I think you're gonna make, hopefully, parent very much don't post on social media lah. Please don't do that. If good, you tell the world. If bad, you tell the listener. Unless they are public figure, you want to correct them, is that one different. But try first to reach that. But our salah, how many of us are able to feel when we perform our salah? So what is the key to get that feeling? Of course, our ustaz, our ulama taught us, we must understand, right? So don't expect your children to cry during their solat. It's not their age yet. But you can explain to them why you solat. Yes, of course it's compulsory, we are the slave of Allah, we want to worship Allah and all, yes, it's true. But Allah doesn't ask us to pray unless there's a guide in the prayer. You know, when we make among all the recitation, most of the recitation in Salah is actually a prayer, right? It's asking Allah. And the most important recitation is Surah Al-Fatiha. And inside Surah Al-Fatiha, there's an ayah that we need to recite. Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim. This is the most important dua that we should make to Allah SWT. Really, Allah the Almighty forced us to pray and recite specific dua. Why? Because in that dua lies the assistance from Allah. Problem with us, when we recite that, Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim, we don't really need in our life. We just say it because this is a rukun. That's why our salah is not that powerful. So after this, whenever you recite, Ihdina Siratal Mustaqim in your heart, oh Allah, please show me that straight path, the shortcut in your heart. Like very fast. Minimum 17 times a day. Because the first legs of after that ayah, Siratal Ladzina An'amta Alayhim. The path that to those who have bestowed thy grace, those who already received assistance from Allah, shortcut from Allah. So we don't just ask any path, any straight path, but paths that were given to the people before us. This is past tense. So that what? So that we also attain that true success. So this is a reminder for every one of us, so that inshallah when we make our prayer, when we perform our salah, we get this feeling of connection, inshallah. Alright. Okay, I want to also, I think Karisma already showed some materials, but I would like to recommend if you have 2 and 3 years old children, or if your children are still in the, maybe this is your first year to Brainy Bunch, I truly recommend for you to get this copy. Of course, we have this at school. I remember when I said, you know, my journey, those 2 earliest students was the teacher of my children. So when Danish now 20 years old, now in Seattle, children study, and with Sarah, my daughter, both of them in Seattle. But when we got Danish, when he's like 2 years old, we sent him to Antilles School, which is in Section 7 Shah Alam. We stayed in Puchong. At the time, I was working in Dell Nation. My wife was running our airborne boutique outlet in Semelik. So in one day, we traveled like almost 2 hours just to send him to Section 7 Shah Alam. And Auntie Karisma was the teacher. And of course, Auntie Claire was teaching Sarah as well. And of course, both of them at that time still not a Muslim yet. You know, and I don't speak English at home. I mean, we are Malay family, we speak Malay. So, but of course, I'm concerned about their Islamic upbringing and their English. I didn't know about Montessori that much back then. So when I sent Danish, then I think after a few months we got like message from Auntie Karisma. Please practice English at home. And we are like modern kampung parents lah. Kita orang kampung juga kan. We don't get, I mean, we are not offended, but we are embarrassed. Because we don't possess that good English. Like, you know, Antilles, nobody gonna talk to her, you know, like, we don't want to talk to her, because, like, she speaks that level of English. So whenever she said to me, okay, alright, yes. Now, we are that typical parents, because we have that experience. So if you feel like that, it's okay, right? Because I went through, I was there. You know, so but when I got that message, I said, oh, we have to change. And I think we change when we got our children, right? Or we try to be better because of our children. And we have seen many parents change because of their children. So that's why in Brainy Bunch, we don't have policies to force a certain practice to our children. Like for instance, a lot of others who think that they are not that Islamic, or because all your children did not wear hijab. We don't even have a policy to force children to wear hijab in high school or in elementary school. We don't have a policy to force anyone, because that's not our job and that's not our school approach. Our approach is to provide a constant, prepared environment to encourage everyone, one, to obey Allah, not have to obey Allah, one, to follow the Prophet Muhammad, and saying that the only way to be successful is to follow the way of the Prophet. That is our goal. When we started our international school, Auntie Karisma was the first teacher. During the open day in Kundra Heights, I have parents who comment who are not happy. Why can't non-Muslim? You're Islamic school. You're supposed to have non-Muslim as a teacher. And I said, which verse of ayah that you refer to? The Prophet have a lot of friends, a lot of people who are non-Muslim who are working for him. We are not that kind of school. Alhamdulillah, I think 2 years after that, Auntie Karisma, Auntie Claire, the entire family is converted to Islam. Just imagine if we cast her away. What will happen to her? You know? So, what I'm trying to say is, in Brainy Bunch, we're trying to do all these, but we need you to understand. So that's why, I mean, I congratulate for those who came. I truly hope those who do not able to come today, that next program please come. Even if you just take one knowledge from the entire 3 speakers, only one knowledge that you hold daily and you practice that, and you deliver to others, it will make great changes to your life. Like your own life, like your family, and your children as well. We need to know that to seek knowledge is not an option for Muslims. It's commanded by Allah that every Muslim is wajib, is fardu. And it doesn't stop when we got a degree, PhD, master, whatever. Right? So, I will finish, don't worry. It's not easy to talk to parents. Okay, we have also created a small channel. We are actually currently in the midst of building our own super app. So please allow us maybe another 6 months to launch our phase 1 of our super app, where we're going to use, once we have that platform will be used to communicate with all parents. I know some parents, they ask for, like, if possible, daily updates on pictures, videos, activities. For now, it's not that possible yet. Although the teachers will do as much as they can to update your children, but if you have a specific request, please just request. Don't. But if they don't reply immediately, please understand that they're not supposed to be with their phone when they are with their children. If they were to use phone, it's only for them to update, take pictures, videos, record certain progression. They're not supposed to be like phone children. Children like that. Because I complain, like parents complain, why teacher doesn't reply me? I'm worried about my child. Of course, they're not supposed to reply you. They're supposed to reply you after school, because that's when they have access to phone. Right? But again, inshallah, we're going to have our apps. But in meantime, we have this BP United Family apps, where you can download, you can get the information at the back, or get the link from your campus manager, where we're going to share resources that you can use at home. Like for instance, our alphabet fund. So there's a YouTube link. We have the audio version. We call it the audio book for you to practice with your children if they are still not reading. If they are only reading, I truly recommend, if they are 6 years old, to purchase a copy set of our IPP program. So this IPP program is the time-based program based on our Montessori system to get our children, to have them to master reading, writing, counting before they graduate from Brainy Bunch. So normally we have about 3 months plus minus all the holiday, so it will be like 4 months to 5 months. Please, if your child is 6 years old, get this copy. This is, of course, at school they already have, but it will help them to have a copy at home. We also have developed a graded phonetic reading book system. I think we are the only one in the world where we have this. Because in Montessori we don't have books. We don't have that specific books that your child can buy and read. Because we teach them to read based on the graded phonetic system. Means if you give them newspaper, or now newspaper, or you give them Times magazine, they cannot read lah. Not yet. Right? But if you give this book, like this, for instance, the Pink series, this is a 3-letter word. So they can be able to read this book as part of their development process to read longer words to the sentences. Right? So we have the pink, blue, and green series. So please also, I recommend that you buy this. Don't buy other book. You have to buy book anyway, right? You know, this, like we always do, buy, but we never use. Yeah, so before you buy other books, buy this book first. If your children are not a reader yet, read that. If possible. If not possible, then you can create a YouTube video as well. Books reading by YouTube. We have actually few books that we have turned into a 2D animation storybooks that are available on YouTube. So we're going to put this in our Brainy Bunch Family United apps. So go and check it out. Alright. So I have so many things I want to show you. Okay, that's done. What else? Okay. Your children is a special children. Means we want to treat your children to be the best version of themselves. So we want to work with you so that your child be the best version of themselves to Allah. Not to us only. Not to just your family. Not just to our country. We want to raise our children to become the leader of the Ummah, not the leader of Malaysia only. Alright? I think few weeks, 1 week ago, our Prime Minister announced I think he said that there's a gap in the preschool education in Malaysia, so he wanted to standardize. I think we had a meeting a week before that with the Council of his advisor in UKM. So we were discussing about this matter. But the issue is, it's not just the preschool. The biggest challenge that our children will face is sekolah rendah tahap 1. Ini yang paling problem. This is the biggest problem in our education system. Actually, I have given my recommendation. Because sistem prasekolah kebangsaan, KSPK, this is rated by MOE, is good enough. You don't have to change KSPK. But not every children are able to get the best of KSPK. Of course, like us, we provide more than KSPK. With the Islamic Montessori system, with Brainy system, we provide more than what KSPK provide. But for other children who are not able to get that quality education, when they enter standard 1, if they cannot read, the current system, they're going to place your child into class pemulihan. Or we call it the recovery class. And most of the children who are in the recovery class, most of them are normally considered as budak tak pandai. And because of that, when they become upper elementary student, 11 years old, 12 years old, they themselves feel that I'm not smart. And that is the biggest mistake. So my recommendation to the government is to go and change that. Sekolah tahap 1 tu tadikan we cannot guarantee everyone will be able to get the same standard. Reduce your requirement standard in the tahap 1. But hopefully later they will listen to us. Because it's very, very unfortunate for our children. For those who are in Brainy, inshallah, you should be okay. But again, we are not going to force your children to be able to read as soon as possible. But if you work together with us, inshallah, we have the system, we have the routine, and we have the teachers who are trained to follow the system. Montessori system is not a teacher-centric system. It is a child-centric system. Because if a teacher-centric system, maybe one teacher stand like me now, I forget that. How do I reach out to everyone to understand what I'm saying? So this is a teacher-centric. But in the Montessori system, the teachers always move. The children always get the personal attention all the time. Because you know, in the class, like this, if I ask you, raise your hand if you want to ask question. Not many will ask, maybe one will ask. It's the same thing that our children listen. I don't want to ask, I don't want to ask. Right? So, get to know more about this system so that, inshallah, build a relationship. So my closing remark, build a stronger relationship with your aunties. Respect them, but at the same time be professional with them. If they make a mistake, say nicely. If you think you don't want to say to them, you can talk to the campus manager. Aunties, uncle, campus manager, always be open. Open heart, open mind. Right? So when people give you feedback, you say thank you. Right? Don't feel offended. Don't feel embarrassed. Sometimes you feel embarrassed. It's okay. It's the process. Right? So, I think I've covered all my reminder. And maybe final reminder. There's a flyers, 3 flyers about Malakat. I'm not here to sell about Malakat. I'm telling you, the project of Malakat is a project of building an ecosystem so that in the near future, our children are able to practice the muamalah and also provide or have the opportunity for them to practice Islam in totality. That's the goal. So we have a lot of projects like online payment, the marketplace, a lot of things that we are trying to build for ourselves, but we have limitation. But we all support. Support not just by, maybe if it's here, come and buy that. You can share with your friends and families. Be part of this movement. Maybe my closing remark is to remind every one of us about our sisters and brothers in Gaza. After that, yesterday, the last 2 days, happy and sad. I mean, we always sad whenever we remember about our teachers. That's why we saw the video, the one that performed is our children in Gaza. We have a Brainy charity school in Gaza for the last, now it's 11 years already. We have 200 over students there. Some already martyred. some of our children, already went to heaven. But our teachers, Alhamdulillah, they are still alive. Of course, the situation is very, very bad. Now we have the way to send our fund to them. So if you want to contribute, you can contribute to our Sadaqah Market. Every Friday we have our, just to remind you as well, why we do Sadaqah Friday. So this is actually a practice for our children. Please give them 10 cents, 1 ringgit. You want to give more, give more. Just for them to practice into Sadaqah. But for our Gaza teachers and of course families, we have fund now about few 100,000, not much. We will try to raise, but we give whatever that we can and also our own contribution. So parents can use this as a medium to reach out to our brothers and sisters in Gaza. Talk to your children about them. Share their story. Very much I think we are the first who at least raised awareness from the Syrian issue. I think in 2013, our Gaza teacher came here, we came for training, and then we did a Brainy walk that year where we raised awareness about situation in Gaza. What happened in Palestine is already happened for the last 75 years. Talk to your children. Don't underestimate your child. They need to know that they have brothers and sisters in Gaza. Not just Brainy students, but the whole Palestinian. It is one of the most important missions that you can put as one of your children's goals is to have and free Palestine. Palestine will not be free until we fix our facts. Until we start to work together to build our own ecosystem. Until we become better than China, better than the Zionists. And the only way for us to do that is by working together. So that's why don't just look very much as a kindergarten, as a school, as a brand. No, we are not. This is just a platform. I don't own this company. The one that owns this is Allah. I'm just the manager. I'm a temporary manager. Aunties, uncle, always look yourself at we are just a servant of Allah. We don't own anything. Everything is owned by Allah. We were just given this responsibility and we want to be given this responsibility. So that when we see Him later, inshallah, we can try to claim His blessing and enter and get the best reward from Him. So please continue to talk about Gaza, talk about Palestine. There's a big rally coming, although it's a bit late, but it's okay, better late than never. Please come and join, bring your children. We always do program in Malacca and so on. So please talk to them because you would know. And maybe some of your children will be so inspired that they do something that we could not do or we could not think of, that inshallah will have us to resurrect back the leadership of the world and free the Palestine, inshallah. May Allah SWT regards all the sacrifice, especially parents who came for this event. Thank you so much. We are for the management. I truly appreciate you being here and able to listen throughout. I know maybe not to the level of your expectation. We are sorry for whatever our shortcoming. We're just, we're not small, we're not that big, but we are definitely not small. We have now 125 campuses in Malaysia, we have 4 campuses in Singapore, we have 2 in Indonesia, Brunei, we have about 1,600 staff altogether. These buildings are literally built by the support of the Dubai parents. We don't have investor yet. Please go on and we're going to get a proper fund so that we can improve our facilities at the school. Oh yeah, just a quick reminder, we are actually in the midst of upgrading our campuses to Brainy 3.0, where all campuses will be equipped with the indoor swimming pool, indoor gym to cater our children's needs. So please go on and we are able to raise enough funds so that we can upgrade all our campuses. And also please, whenever our teachers and aunties, please make dua for them and always try to give them motivation because it's really not easy. We as a parents, to handle, I have 5 kids of my own, to handle them is not easy. They have like minimum 15 with them. Like 8 hours, 7 hours a day, every day. Right? So it's not easy. Their job is not easy. But with your encouragement, your continuous contribution, inshallah, they will get more strength, more power to deliver the best that they can, inshallah. For the sake of Allah and for the sake of our children. With that, Jazakallah khair. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Boss Coach Fazil, Sheikh, for sharing your insights and wisdom with us today. Your dedication to education and visionary leadership have